Hello, welcome back to Double Knockout. This is round 3, we're against Cole, and we are going second into a Mute Swan. Well, this sucks. So yeah, EV Double Knockouts is a best of 1. We're in the lower bracket, which means if we lose, it's all over. So, we want to not lose, that'd be great. But with Mute Swan and Trey, that's looking pretty difficult. I haven't played Cole too many times. I think they're a pretty good player, so I think it's going to be pretty difficult. What we can hope for is that Mute Swan reveals something really disgusting, and we can pick that up and use that to counter the Swan. I don't really know what we're looking for there, but maybe a main duck, maybe just a snow bunting or something that we can improve our hand quality throughout the game. I don't know. But yeah, going second into Mute Swan and Trey is never pleasant. Would not be surprised to see them keep 5 cards. Sorry, 5 food, not 5 cards, 5 food. So this was recorded about 2 months ago, start of December. I'm trying to make sure I get as many games uploaded as possible from tournaments. Just so we've got more games out there, people can see what other people are doing. I think it's fun. And this is obviously post-commentated. I have no recollection as to what actually happens in this game, other than what we're seeing here right now. So it is like I'm seeing this game for the first time. I will call out my mistakes as I see them, if I see them. If I think I'm playing good, I'll say as much. If I think I'm playing like trash, you bet I'm going to say as such. So what do we got in hand? Absolutely nothing useful. This Kakapo is nice. The Koel-Kuiken Magpie is nice. This crane is a 100% trap. This crane is actually terrible. We'll take a large bird because Marsh Harrier and Kakapo hit it. So we're pretty close to being able to do that, but certainly it's not Mute Swan. Not Mute Swan by any stretch of the imagination. We have a decision to make. Do we do Common Green Magpie first, or do we just play this Marsh Harrier and go nuts? Let me talk through some of those things there. So this Red Crown Crane, really a bad bird. People really overvalue it, so just do not fall into that same trap. Our opponent took Ibis and Mute Swan, which makes a ton of sense. Ibis is another decent bird that can go into a wetlands engine. Reveal the yellow-headed Blackbird. Thankfully, they don't have that. Yellow-headed Blackbird is a very, very strong option for this game. It does mean that we might just pivot. And they've got American Robin. So they actually kept all of their cards, and they went American Robin, and they took a bunch of stuff. That is so interesting. I think that might be asking a little bit too much, but we'll see how this game plays out. Like, I'm just worried for them, because if they to get the Mute Swan into the game, they have to take food twice. And you really want to get that Mute Swan into the game as fast as possible, because it's such a good bird. I don't really think the American Robin is doing anything new compared to what the Mute Swan is doing, so that's nice. It does allow us to play this Common Green Magpie. I think this bird is pretty decent. Can either be a plus food bird or a point scoring bird. In this case, we'll always take the plus food. Maybe once we get to round 2, maybe even round 3, switch to more caching options. And I think it's a pretty reliable cacher. Plenty of worms and rats in bird feeder resets. They're very, very common. So that's why I think this bird's really good, especially as the first bird. Toss is a little awkward. You do have to play it first to get it into the game, but that's fine. Our opponent not going into the wetlands doesn't really speed us up in any way, so we had the time to just play the Magpie and see how we go, because now we can do fun things. We can do Blackbird, take cards, and play the Marsh Harrier, take cards, dig for a little bit, see what we find. There's already some interesting stuff in Trey, right? Like this Rufus Owl is pretty good for us. King Rail is pretty nice as well, so I'm gonna get this yellow-headed Blackbird straight into the game. It's such a strong bird. Being able to get eggs while we do our digging is pretty nice. The only issue here is that it doesn't improve our draw power, so we are only going to be able to keep 1 card per turn. But often that sacrifice is worthwhile just to be able to get get those points, get those eggs. Such a powerful combination. Opponent has done food twice. You'd fully expect them to play Mute Swarm at this point. And then we'll guess we see where the game goes. But yeah, I think they probably kept one too many cards. I mean, I don't know what they have, but naively, I think they should have kept the seed back. And then played the Mute Swan after one go of the feeder. I think that tempo might end up hurting them a little bit there. So I guess we'll see how it plays out. But we're ready to go. They've laid eggs. That is genuinely surprising. We're gonna leave Rufus there. We're gonna go Goldcrest. Okay. I didn't expect to see that. I do like Goldcrest. I think Goldcrest is a really strong bird, but I would have just immediately picked up Rufus Owl on a random. But yeah. Anyway, we're gonna get the Marsh Harrier into the game. That's gonna basically give us license to do a little bit of digging, so we can probably take. We draw 2 or 3 times now. I think Goldcrest will really let us accelerate into building out a forest. Only issue is eggs will become a problem. And cards, sorry, will actually become a problem. What am I talking about? Cards will become a problem because we're turning those into eggs. And Goldcrest wants us to discard, so a little bit concerned about that bird. I don't know if we're going to get maximum value out of it, but made our bed, we're going to lie in it. Do you think playing this Marsh Harrier is correct, though? I think we do definitely want it. They've gone Rainbow Lorikeet. I mean, even more food generation. I mean, alright then, that's certainly a choice, but you'd fully expect this Mute Swan to come into the game, so guess we'll see. Alright, now we're picking up this Rufus Owl. Very good. Oh, a Pileated Woodpecker, that would have been nice. Unfortunate. Oh well, at least we know that that's out of the game and our opponent can't use it, so that's a plus. Yeah, I think we draw again. There's no point taking food here. Just now, Mute Swan is finally into the game. There we go. Prothroat Warbler, pretty decent. Blackbird Diver, even better. What we find here, we will take our points and we'll tuck Prothroat Warbler. Probably our least valuable card. I mean, don't really want to tuck it, but don't have a choice realistically. Eurasian Eagle Owl, kind of the Marsh Harrier's cousin. I think we definitely want a piece of that. A little bit unlucky there, but we did take the Raven out of the game, so that's nice. If we didn't do 2 draws there, the Raven would have shown up, and that would have been bad news. But yeah, that's the risk with these push your luck predators. But I'm feeling pretty good about what we have. I mean, our opponent hasn't gone super mega heavy wetlands. And we've got stuff to do now. I guess one question is, do we go... Maybe we do food here, take the worm, play the diver, and then draw again, just so we get some extra cards to feed this Goldcrest? Or maybe we do just... Yeah, maybe that kind of makes sense to me. Not typically something I like to do, but that's what the power is the Goldcrest. Really allows you to build out do a pivot very, very, very quickly. Just by taking food, you can eliminate, you can do 2 things at once. I think it's, you know, I really value the Goldcrest quite highly because of that. But let's see what we're going to do here. We're going to play Goldcrest with the worm. That's a-okay. And then I think that's a pretty strong signal that we are going to play this diver. And we're just clearing egg space out of the Blackbird. So if we do diver, there's 3 turns left. We can draw twice. It's not a terrible idea, actually. Draw twice and then just play whatever the best bird is. Maybe this Eagle Owl, maybe not this Eagle Owl. We'll see what we find. This is a pretty atypical game for me. This is not usually how I like to play a game of Wingspan, but I think this Goldcrest is really giving us some options. Goldfinch, I'm genuinely shocked they haven't gone heavier into the wetlands. This is a tough choice. Do we give up White Wagtail or do we take Hornbill? Like, this is a tough one. The Hornbill is a better bird for us. But I think White Wagtail is very, very good too. But I don't know if I want to leave white wagtail alone. Jeez, okay, this is a toughie. I'm gonna take the hornbill. I think that's a risk. I should check what their game state is so that I could have properly made that assessment. So yeah, okay, they can't get the wagtail into the game. Which, I don't know if I knew that or if I just guessed that they couldn't, but they don't have time to pick it up. Oh, they can actually. If they cycle with the robin, then they can play wagtail and then lay eggs, and then they can use it. Maybe that's a mistake. But hornbill's hornbill. Like, it's a very, very, very good bird for what I'm trying to do here. It hits the bonus card, it's big points. I can potentially turn extra cards into points at some point. It's very, very, very strong. It's definitely a tough decision. I'm just gambling on the fact that this wagtail is going to be awkward for my opponent. But I think you got to pick it up. If I was them, I think you'd have to try and figure out how you can work it. I think it's too good to leave there. I think for us, if it's left there, can't really use it. And I guess that's why we didn't pick it up. Like, we can't use the wagtail. If we picked it up, we would be in a bit of a spot of bother. Now, neither can my opponent. They've laid eggs. We can go drawing again. I think this is fine. Maybe we're going to leverage Goldcrest. We're going to take the coin Buzzard. Very nice to play over the Goldcrest. And a useful last minute play. Can I take Partridge? Yeah, I guess so. Don't want to leave Partridge in tray. That's pretty good. We'll just immediately throw it away for some points. I think giving my opponent Partridge could have been... It's a risky... I don't need to take, right? They're not really developing anything, but... You know, it could have done something good, but... My opponent hasn't really done much here. They haven't really exploded in the wetlands. They've kind of hedged their bets across two habitats. They don't have a source of alternative eggs. I think I'm pretty happy with how things are going, if I'm being realistic here. And we will almost certainly lose this end of round, because we're going to play another bird here. And unless we do something wild, which we are, okay, we're actually playing for the end of round. That's very surprising. Not usually something I like to do, but I understand the reason. We will need more eggs at some point, and what time is it to lay eggs, if not now, when you can get extra credit for having them? And we will be able to build out this forest with some velocities, simply because of this Goldcrest, so I think that's totally fine. I don't know about totally fine, but I can see the logic. The biggest issue we have now is being able to play a bird. Only birds that are playable if we take food are the eagle owl and the kakapo. Everything else costs 3 food, which is a bit tricky to work with. I don't really think we want to play the eagle owl. I just don't feel like it's the game for it right now. We've got it's hornbill, rufous owl, kakapo, and eagle owl that are all competing for forest slots. We've got 4 birds and only 3 slots. And I think at this stage of the game, where it's round 3 and we only have 11 turns left, the eagle owl is just not going to be as valuable as anything else. So what do? We need to get food somehow. We need that extra food. Yeah, I think this has to be kakapo. Yeah, get rid of the goldfinch. I think you gotta play kakapo. Oh, you gotta play. Okay, we're playing eagle owl. Alright, I think kakapo might have been the slightly stronger bird. We get our 3rd resource from the magpie, so now we can play like hornbill after this immediately, which is nice. But this says to me that, hey, we're not gonna play great hornbill anymore, which sorry, we're not gonna play rufous owl anymore, which is fine. It's a decision. It's not the end of the world. It also doesn't help with the end of round, so that's totally fair. I'm just not completely convinced that the eagle owl is the better bird. Maybe it's better than kakapo, I don't know. Bit tough. But it is what it is. It is kind of a terrible reroll, and there's nothing I can do about it. I think we just have to take food again and then play the Hornbill. So Ted unlucky there, but the Eagle Owl's gonna keep going. Are we gonna overpay for Cockapoo? I could see that. I don't hate it. Yeah, okay, that's a pretty good plan B, actually. It's a pretty good plan B. Now the plan here is we cash there, because our plan now is that we've got our third resource with Cockapoo filling up the column 4. Now we take cards, we replenish our egg, we replenish our card supply, and then we can very easily get Hornbill into the game. So that's really nice, actually. That actually worked out. I don't think playing Cockapoo first was the intended strategy. We definitely wanted to do Hornbill, but the food did not allow it, so overpaying for Cockapoo instead makes a bit of sense there. Don't hate that at all. Take the big point bird. No, not really any other thought there. We'll definitely take the egg, we'll get rid of this cuckoo. We're not gonna play the cuckoo. But yeah, we're finding really good harmony here. We're able to take cards, get our eggs, get our cards, all in one habitat, and then jump over the forest to do game food and play a bird at the same time. So we're really just playing off two actions at the moment. It's really quite powerful. Still not finding this food for the Great Hornbill. That's really frustrating. Yeah, I mean, this Eagle Owl is so difficult to know whether you should keep going or not. I think I value just getting a stream of points. Like, I probably should have drawn again at 40, but there's not really any rhyme or reason. It's all kind of vibes based. Alright, there we go. There's the food for the Hornbill. Probably gonna get rid of the Desert Finch. Yeah, 68 is definitely too high. We definitely get rid of that. Get rid of the Desert Finch. Get the Hornbill into the game. And, oh yeah, that's nice actually. By withholding a nectar, we can also place as a tail flycatcher, which is a bird that faces right, which is exactly what we want to do. We can keep caching. Always cache rats when you get the opportunity to, just in case you hit Pallet Dissector one day. And yeah, my opponent didn't transition into the scary wetlands that I thought we were going to see, so that is a bit of a relief. So we're not going to win this end of round though, so that's a bit of a bother, but oh well. Prairie Chicken comes into the game. Okay, they found a lot of good birds to play, so I guess this Mute Swan has delivered value in a different way. Fusion Hobby comes up. That's basically the buzzard in different colors. So yeah, well, this buzzard will be a play. Philippine Eagle comes up. That's totally fine. We don't care. Nothing super intriguing here. I guess you take House Wren just because it's a play another bird. Phil. Southern Cassowary comes up. That's actually even better than this buzzard. I'd love to get that, my hands on that. Like, the Cassowary Goldcrest combo is pretty well established at this point. Very, very, very powerful. Allows you to do some really fun stuff. So definitely something that's on my radar to pick up. See if it's on my opponents. They've gone heavy into the bonus cards. A lot of bonus birds going on. Pretty decent infrastructure across the board, but I do think I prefer our board state in this moment. So we will get the Cassowary. That's really nice. Eastern Imperial Eagle. That's also really nice. I think that's probably something we're going to look to play. Unfortunate, we miss on the Harrier, and then we'll just tuck whatever. Mistletoe bird. Doesn't really matter. Oh, we're gonna not tuck. Okay, I guess I'm just counting the number of cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I had room to tuck one there, but maybe I want to play this House Wren and just use that to help with this end of round, because the Goldcrest is going to get eaten and or replaced by the Cassowary rather, and we'll no longer qualify for the end of round, and then we'll need. Well, we're not going to qualify anyway. Oh, we're not going to win anyway because we only have 2 birds. So I think maybe a little bit aspirational. Maybe I should have tucked it for the 2 points rather than the 1 point. But oh well. Maybe it's useful later on. Maybe it's useful for Cockapoo for some reason. I don't know. Opponent's drawing birds. We'll take our nectar. We can take 3 nectar here. It's totally fine. We can dump it all in the cassowary, or we can choose to withhold it. We'll not use the hornbill. Could have gone for a third bird there, but again, being very conservative, trying to keep the points. No need to risk. 2 is already a really great return on that. So we'll get the southern cassowary into the game. And we will spend all 3 nectar. That's interesting. We'll probably cash that, yep. No, I must have miscounted. No, we don't need the house ring to double play. We just play Eastern Imperial Eagle and then do something. Probably... I don't know what we do. Yeah, I don't know how I miscounted. I must have forgotten about Goldcrest activation cost or something. Yeah, what do we do? I mean, this is awkward. We have like 1 turn left. Like, probably drawing is our best action. It's like maybe we get like 2 or 3 in the forest. We definitely get 3 points in the grasslands. And in the wetlands, we probably get 3 to 4 to 5 points. Depending on how hard we go with this Harrier, that's probably what we end up doing. And if you're gonna draw, then you might as well draw. And yeah, it comes back. I think maybe skipping the tuck on the Ren maybe was improper or was the wrong call. Not sure. No, we're gonna take food, are we? Okay. This is interesting. I don't know why I'm taking food. Am I thinking I can flip the nectar or something? There's only 2 nectar spent, so yeah, it looks like I'm targeting the nectar. Okay. That's a bold move. We can do House Wren into Eastern Imperial Eagle, spending 2 nectar. That would tip it in our favor. We could actually tuck a card here. I think tucking is actually really good for us. We shouldn't skip this. Yeah, we should not skip. We should definitely do this. And just use the nectar to pay for the Eastern Imperial Eagle. And that way we maximize our chance of flipping the nectar, and we can get birds in. Yeah, I don't know why I went back. I'm taking full nectar, that's why, instead of taking 2 nectar and a seed. Yeah, just ditch anything. Gnatcatcher. And get a berry on the hornbill. Do our tucks. Ooh, we can go again. Yeah, that's nice. Get 3 points off that. That's beautiful. Cash. Really strong turn. I didn't even recognize that we could use this hornbill for the extra points. So that ended up being like a 6 point turn. That's pretty good, given that we didn't have too many options there. And, okay, sure, we're not going to be able to fully tuck under the Eastern Imperial Eagle, but it's still 7 points. And more importantly, we will be able to flip the nectar unless there's something crazy that happens here. I don't expect my opponent to play a Grasslands Bird, but it's possible. And even so, we had a really strong activation there. Maybe my opponent can tuck a card, but I don't think they can. They just laid eggs, so maybe that's a concession that they don't have anything better to be doing. And we'll play Eastern Imperial Eagle. We'll tuck the 1 card and play the other 2 with nectar. So yeah, I think that worked out quite well. Yeah, they still have 2 nectar. I guess they could spend... Yeah, they can't actually win the grasslands anymore. Like, at best, they could tie it, and that's probably what they'll do. They'll probably spend eggs... maybe they lay eggs and spend the nectar, or maybe they play a bird, I don't know, but... I think this was a pretty decent game, actually. I think it really showcased the power of Goldcrest. Like, we were able to... really dig as much as we needed to dig into the wetlands and just play off 2 habitats the entire game. Not even 2 habitats, but 2 actions the entire game. It's really quite strong. Oh, and I was looking at their screen, so we gotta reset the game. I love this bug. My favorite bug, absolutely sure. Alright, we get the score. What do we find with Kakapo? Maxed out Viticulturalist, love to see that. Yep, that's our best bonus card. Love to see it. Very nice. Yeah, well, you get exactly the right number. That's really good. My opponent plays Red Crown Crane. They must have picked that up with the King Rail, because we had it in our starting hand. But yeah, this card is not good. I think this card should... Unless you have Omni, and you're trying to like get more Omni birds into the game, it's just not very good. Yeah, we'll see how things come out. We get a pretty decent lead on bird points, about, you know, getting a good lead on bonuses as well, which is nice. End of rounds, we draw eggs. We are still ahead. Like, this is going to be a blowout. This will be a blowout because we have a ton of tucks, and there you go, almost a 40-point victory. So something went wrong there for my opponent. Normally you'd score better than 91 with the Mute Swan, but that's what they had. They had Ecologist. Understandable, makes a lot of sense. Grassland Ranger, that is unfortunate. That is unfortunate. That could be the reason. You know, if that was an 8-point mech engineer, they score a lot better. Bird Bander, Minbound, Platform Builder. It's tough day at the office. I mean, this is why this Red Crown Crane isn't very good. You didn't actually get 4 points off your Red Crown Crane. You got 0 because your new bonus card did not qualify anything. So that is a bit rough. But still. Oh, they won the Wetlands Nectar. That's rude. Okay, that's what they did with their Nectar. But yeah, that's a tough day at the office for my opponent. They clearly couldn't find anything else to complement this Mute Swan, which is a bit of a shame. I think maybe getting that into the game faster might have helped a little bit. I don't know. Like, for a game where I thought this was going to be like a very, very big struggle, we didn't struggle very much at all. Our board just really worked out nicely. Let's just see our final board state. Our board really worked out nicely. I think we were able to dig like pretty much as we needed to with this Blackbird and Marsh Harrier. Like, I think that worked out quite well. And then even just throwing in this diver at the end, like, we didn't really like it was definitely very useful to fund the Goldcrest. I just think, yeah, like, normally you don't have the license to do that because it takes twice as long to get your forest set up if you do it that way. And yeah, I mean, Goldcrest style of the show, honestly. Just that's how Goldcrest goes, man. If it's so powerful to just pivot out of a wetlands into a forest and just get stuff set up. Finding Cassowary was great. We had a replacement instead if we couldn't find Cassowary, but Cassowary was definitely an incredible find. Definitely helped us a bit. And yeah, that is what it is. So in any case, we win this one. It's nice. We stay alive in this tournament, which is good because it's a single elimination bracket at this point. So got to win everyone we can. But well played to my opponent. I'm sure they would be frustrated with that. I'm sure they were expecting more out of a Mute Swan, and I'm sure, given different cards, they would have got there. But that's us for now. We've got another game to come. I think this is actually going to be the lower bracket final. The winner goes through to the main bracket, so that'll be exciting. So we'll see you in the next one.